Chelsea versus Liverpool in the FA Cup was a great game to watch from a Chelsea fan perspective, especially considering the results we've been having recently. Chelsea set up how I wanted us to set up after the Bayern Munich game, and we went into a 4-3-3 formation with Giroud up top, Pedro and Willian on the wings, Barkley and Kovacic, and Gilmour in the midfield position. Gilmour was a phenomenal player in this game, and I hope he continues to play like this and has the chance to play like some of the other youngsters, because he did amazingly in this game and was probably one of the main reasons we managed to win. Liverpool, on the other hand, also set up with the 4-3-3 formation, with Mane on the right, Origi on the left, and then they had Jones, Fabinho, and Lana in the midfield, and then a usual defence other than Gomez and Williams playing. And when Chelsea were trying to build up the play, they would do what they usually do, and they spread their centre-backs out wide, left and right, and they brought in Gilmour to try and receive that ball and play out from there. However, Liverpool were pressing quite high, which is why I really like the fact that we had Giroud up top, because this is what would often happen: is Liverpool would press and would be stuck in a little corner, and if we weren't able to play out, then we had that option for Giroud up top to then play the ball down, normally to Barkley, and then with Pedro on the wing with Willian as well. And this worked quite well, and we managed to create good chances with this, which is why I really like Giroud. Giroud's hold-up play is amazing, and it provides a really good option if we aren't able to play out like we weren't able to in this game. So often Giroud would then receive the ball, and then Barkley would be playing off him, and then you had Pedro on the wings ready to overlap, or Willian as well, vice versa. Now, as well, oftentimes when we were playing out and we went out to the right side, the inexperienced Williams, this is how a few chances were created. The inexperienced Williams on this wing against Pedro, he created a lot of space for himself, Pedro, out on this wing, because Williams kept tucking in to try and stay close to his centre-back. Now, either Liverpool needed to bring back Mane to help cover this area or bring across one of the centre mids, or Williams had to read this and position himself a lot closer to Pedro so that he could then try and close him down. However, most of the time the ball would be played all the way across, and Pedro had good chances to run in and possibly score. Same case as well with Giroud. Giroud was playing quite well on the inside of the two centre backs, sometimes between Gomez and Williams as well, and he created spaces for himself to then the ball played over the top and create chances to try and score there. So Liverpool tried to do a very similar thing as well. They would put their centre-backs wide and try and play out through that way. Very common to see, especially with Liverpool. They like to try and play out like this. Now, when Liverpool actually got up the field, oftentimes they would have Mane playing a lot closer with their striker, which was Minamino. Now, Mane was playing on the inside of him, on the inside of the centre-backs, normally Zuma, and had a few chances where he was able to peel off and run and get a shot. This was freed up because Williams would often push really high up the field, and this created chances for him to cross and maybe have a shot himself. But it meant also Mane was able to play more central with Minamino. As Liverpool built up, Chelsea would often sit back and allow a bit of pressure. They wouldn't always be pressing high. They sometimes set off as more of a 4-5-1, so bring in the three midfielders back in to cover the middle area to stop any plays through there, and then also would have Willian and Pedro dropping off to stop their fullbacks, because it's quite well known that Liverpool fullbacks, they tend to be able to create lots of chances through crossing, especially Robertson in this game. They weren't playing Trent, so there was less of a threat on that side, but Robertson was still able to get some good crosses in. So Chelsea weren't uncomfortable with sitting back and inviting a bit of pressure and just maintaining the lead that they had developed quite early, and Giroud would just often run between the two centre-backs to try and apply a little bit of pressure, but would often just allow them to try and play through. So overall, I think this was quite a good game for Chelsea, coming out 2-0 ahead, especially against Liverpool, who are currently still league leaders and probably going to win the Premier League. Um, Obviously, they weren't playing their strongest team, but I don't think Chelsea had their strongest team out either. Liverpool missing Salah and Firmino. I mean, they were both on the bench. They did come on, but didn't have enough time to create an impact. So if they had their starting 11, maybe Chelsea wouldn't have done so well. But I want to give massive props to Gilmour in the middle. He was a phenomenal player. He was always wanting to receive the ball. I saw him on the pitch, always trying to receive it, not always getting it, but when he did, he was comfortable under pressure, playing it out, rarely lost the ball. And also defensively, he was able to read the game very well, stopping a few chances and covering the centre-backs quite well. And I think he deserves a lot more chances to play, especially now that Kante's injured. I think he's going to come through a lot more.